And just like that, the wheel of destiny ever turns. So let's see, Isagi Yoichi. Shall you adapt, or shall you fall? What's up, guys? I'm Pencil here, and here are to do a breakdown / live reaction and review to chapter 276 of Blue Locker, which is known as The Last. And I'm a little bit excited, dare I say so myself. I'm just a little bit excited. I'll admit, I don't expect too much to happen in this chapter. Like, not too much, because we're going to review Ren's goal, right? Like, that's kind of what happens. After every single goal, we got to sit down, have a chapter for review, then we lock back into the game. So, I'm excited to see the reactions, especially because, at least in my opinion, the goal was clean. I do like the idea of it. But in terms of the crazy stuff we see in the Neo Igarashi League, for Ren's only real goal that we see in the PXG match, because we're not going to get another one, I promise you that, it was kind of meh. But let's not waste any more time and let's hop right into it. And Amy, are you ready? 3, 2, 1, go. What's up, guys? That guy with a pencil here. Fun fact, I do mean to have it on me and keep it on me at all times. And another fun fact, you know what time it is. You know what time it is. You know what time it is. It's peak lock. It's peak every single week, so you know I got a pre-draw on that bad boy. It's a law of nature. It's a fundamental rule of the universe. If, and only if, a chapter of Blue Lock is not peak during the PXG versus BM match, I hereby declare, that guy with the kitchen will become canon. But with that being the case, let's not waste any more time. Let's actually hop into the chapter itself. Chapter 276, The Last. Go! I'm telling you. You know, here's the thing, though. Good artists, which Yusuke Nomura is, I don't care how much anti-Yusuke Nomura glaze I see, we're always glazing Yusuke Nomura around here. He's a beast with it. Good artists do have multiple art styles, but I'm telling you, dog, something about these characters do not look like they were drawn by Nomura. They just don't fit into the Blue Lock art style, which is so weird to say. And the reason I'm so pressed about it is because I've seen background characters still drawn in the Blue Lock art style. That does none of these characters look like Blue Lock characters. This does not look like Nomura draws Blue Lock characters. And I've peeped Nomura's other work before. It just doesn't look right. I can't place what it does look like, what the art style does look like. It does not look like Nomura, though. Something about it looks so funky. I don't know. And not even in the sense it's badly drawn. Plus, this is like a weird angle to draw in the first place. But still, I don't know. Like, even these background characters, they look more Blue Lock-esque, but something about this group, it unnerves me. But let's see. Good. Let me not do that. Go. Yeah, I get it. It's pretty high. Though, thank you to everyone, or at least to everyone for always commenting. I always appreciate your comments. I always read them. I'm bad at responding, but I'm going to try to get better at responding too. But I read all of them. Thank you for every Saga player in last week's comments where it was like, they kind of validated my thoughts. They're like, goal was kind of mid. It was just a mid-air shot. I was like, oh, okay. I don't know. Maybe because I'm spoiled by Neo Igarashi League, but like, I'll be real. Since Kaiser's backflip, bicycle kick, through Aiku's legs into a spike ball into the goal, no goal in the Neo Igarashi League is really hit like that. And I know a lot of people, and notably, that's me as a clear Kaiser creamer. I'm a Michael Muncher. I know there are people who think there hasn't been as good of a goal in the series since Nagi's 5-stage revolver shot, or 5-stage fake volley. And hey, I don't even blame people who think that. I'm just biased. I'm just heavily biased against that goal because I really don't like its source. But with that being the case, if you believe that, we haven't had a good goal, or a goal that's come close to that, or rivaled it, like 100 chapters. Not 100. Like a solid, actually, when was that goal? It can't be 100 chapters because I haven't done 100 Blue Lock reviews and I was there for that goal. So like, close though. It's been years since we had a goal comparable to that. And I'll admit, I don't know, Rin, especially for Destroy Your Ego Rin, his only like big built-up heavy goal we're going to see in the Neo Igarashi League, because I still think BM's going to win. Isagi's going to get that last goal. And this is going to be the one to pass it to him. I'm telling you, lock in, see the vision. But I don't know, dog. My goal was kind of mid, but let's see. And once again, like I mentioned, hey, the soccer players in the comments gonna back me up. I called it wrong though. It's not a cross. A cross is a pass exclusively. My bad. Once again, you can clearly tell I do not know my football / soccer terminology. But thank you guys for correcting me. I always appreciate your corrections too. I feel like people sometimes get scared to correct me because I'm the kind of great. No, I'm wrong quite often. Feel free to, especially on a topic I don't know. I like Blue Lock. I don't really, I mean, it's not like I dislike football, but I just don't watch it. So I don't know the terms. I don't know the expressions. I don't know none of that. But let's see. Golly, Rin. And you're dripping, buddy. Let's see. Who's the lineup, bro? Who's the lineup? Well, it doesn't matter. The game's on pause right now. Pay attention, world. At the 11th hour, PXG skies. PXG ties the score. This is Blue Lock's number 1, Rin Itoshi. So no one's gonna comment on, bro dripping? Like a little, like I know he just collided with a whole other human being, but his head very specifically did not collide, bro. And if I saw this as an announcer, I'd be like, oh, he's dripping. Like, I don't know. That's kind of crazy. That is genuinely insane. I don't get it. And so far, I haven't seen anyone in the comments that fully agree. I don't really get it. I'm not doing all this. It never has been, never will be, it never could be that deep, bro. I'm not sacrificing. I'm not putting up my life points to use a Yu-Gi-Oh analogy. I'm not doing all that, bro. It's never has been, never will be, it never could be that deep to the fact that I'm actually dripping live of my own volition because I'm that into something. No. Let's see. Haha! A crash shot? A crash shot for a crash out. As someone was in the comments put it. What the? That guy. What? Of course it's Charles. Kaiser, I need to hear your thoughts on this, buddy. Did he entice you, broski, or are you still just vibing? Because I know you're low-key still in your character arc right now too, bro. This is your game as well. Let's see. Charles. Well, no, gosh darn. I skipped, my brain, I was about to say, hey, look, Charles isn't speaking in emojis. Yeah. And then I looked down. Let's see. Whoa! You're out of your mind, Rinitoshi. Got a nosebleed. Neat. That shot was insane, though. Just incredible. About to make me bust. You got a screw loose somewhere. And I was kidding about the I threw that in there as a joke. And I love that. Smiling horned emoji. I mean, it's BL, all right? And I may not be referencing Blue Lock when I say it. It's BL. So it's fine. I'm not shocked that he loves that. He loves when another man takes all the strength in his body and hits balls real hard. Technically, I'm not wrong. But let's see. But you know what? I'll admit, I like that Charles likes it. Because it makes sense for his character, right? Technically, ultimately, in a way, Rin is Charles's dream. His dream. The ultimate contrarian to his contrarian. Because Rin was stupid. If Rin loses this game, it's because he was a dumb bubblegum idiot when he chose to just not score and restart the play. But that's how Charles would want it. That's how Charles would need it. That's how Charles would fiend for it, itch, scratch for it, all that. It makes perfect sense that Charles, when seeing someone who's, I'm just gonna say, as cuckoo crazy, buku bonkers as he is, would be like, yes, oh yeah, oh my toes are curling right now in these cleats. You don't know, bro. It makes absolute sense. Charles is a contrarian. Rin is a contrarian too. That does make you question though. How is Charles going to transfer over to Loki? Because that's the whole point, right? Charles specifically was put in the Justice League for Loki's own development. But unless Loki starts playing like Rin, which I don't think he does, Loki is very clearly an efficiency type player who relies heavily on speed and high impact. I don't know how Charles and him are really going to mix, especially since Charles has only been further indoctrinated into the, okay, do crazy, stupid things mindset. Because of Rin. I don't know. Let's see. And I love that. Uh-oh, Shido? Huh? Which one of us do you like better? Oh, Shido-chan. Rin Itoshi. I can't stand your personality or those stupid lower lashes. Hey, your man got lower lashes too. I'm talking about sex. But and those stupid lower lashes. But that shot now was just art. So I'm into it. Compete. Everyone's in the man hitting balls, bro. I get it. It's the sport. But Shido, the allegation, Shido. Wow. But yeah, and hey, you know what? I'll give that. That is a consistent aspect of Shido. And he admits it. I don't like you, or anything you stand for, or even your physical appearance. But what you did was impressive. That's what I like about Shido. Shido, despite being one of the Midas egoists, an egoist that, hey, the big man, Ego himself was like, he just has too big an ego for any of you to control, any of you to restrain, any of you to work with. Shido's always been humble enough to be like, no, you young man, you were cooking. He did that with Isagi back in third selection. He did it here. He did it during the U20 match. Ultimately, he's one who appreciates the art of soccer. He loves it. As he says, it was art. He loves the game. He truly is a lover of the game. He isn't just all, oh, I need to be the best. I need to be the strongest. If I'm not the best or the strongest, I have no value. Like, he's not one of those. Ironically enough, he's not like Rin in that sense, where Rin ultimately disregards. Let me see. Huh? So what, Vermin? Art? Yeah, so see, like, Rin doesn't really care. In fact, technically, and that's the thing about Rin, and it's why ultimately I don't see him succeeding in the long run. As people point out in last week's comment section and in previous comment sections before that, Rin is so focused on the wrong thing. Shido has a passion that'll never die as long as he's able to still play. Baro has a passion that'll never die as long as he's still able to play. Itachi? What? Naruto on the brain. Isagi has a will that will never burn out, never die, because they all have a love of it, a passion for it, a need for the game, essentially. But Rin, he's so blasé and so unfocused as he only cares about his own results, specifically in regards to what Sei would find acceptable or Sei would find unacceptable or unexpected, that he's gonna burn himself out. He's gonna destroy himself, and not in the way that he wants to destroy himself. So, yeah, Rin, ultimately, shockingly enough, you may want to take some hints from Shido in terms of enjoying yourself and enjoying the game. Let's see. Listen up, Charles. Huh? Oh, I do like how he puts his hand on Charles' leg. Especially considering, I think Shido's 17, I believe? He's either 17 or 18, and Charles is 15. Or, I think Charles may even be younger. I think he may be 14 or something. But still, he's like, you gonna listen here to me, youngin'. Listen up, Charles. Huh? Decide which of us is crazier, and which one of us is gonna be the one to change the world and pass it to him. Ooh, wee. Not in that sense, but as in, I'm shocked he can speak that. And a little baby emoji, of course, Charles. But that's actually, it's bad. I shouldn't say this just because of the context of the board now, but they're low-key having a freak off right now. Because they need to figure out who's the more insane, who's the crazier. And ultimately, Rin was that for this moment. Because that's the thing, right? Shido's willing to do crazy, insane things. In fact, one of his most iconic moments in the series is, I think it's in the original manga as well, but I remember specifically from episode Nagi, Kunigami says, hey, that shot's impossible, you can't do that. And Shido literally asks him, who decides what's impossible? Because it surely isn't you. And he proceeded to do the iconic bicycle kick into the goal. So, like, Shido is a man who's consumed by mania and desire and love and passion for the game, but it's fundamentally different than Rin's. Because while Shido's willing to harm himself, quote-unquote, by giving it his all and maybe landing a little bit awkwardly, Rin has actually harmed himself. Like, I think this is one of the few times we've seen a character bleed from their own real ambitions and not too much of the impact. Obviously, he ran into Isagi, but the fact that Isagi's nose isn't bleeding is English. The fact that Isagi's nose isn't bleeding is a surefire sign to me that Rin's passion, Rin's mindset, probably a break in his brain, is what forced his body beyond its limits and forced it to bleed in the way that it did. Unlike Shido, who, while he's passionate, while he gives it all, and maybe even more than all, it's just not the same. There are levels to this madness, and it seems like Rin Itoshi has reached a level higher. Let's see. Wait. Your nosebleed. You should get that plugged up. You can't play if you lose too much blood. Oh, look at Charles actually being rational. Yeah, it's true. I mean, I don't think you could bleed out from a nosebleed, but hey, you never know. I don't know. Not a doctor. But let's see. Oh, and Isagi's just sitting there broken. He's like, I know he's about to tweak out. What did I get wrong? Funnily enough, Isagi. And I mean, you know what? The thing is, Rin would have scored regardless, probably. But considering he showed the willingness to score, Isagi, I actually think the biggest mistake Isagi Yoshi made was playing the game of soccer. And not in like the macro sense. No, in that moment, charging to Rin, providing him that challenge, that's the mistake you made. Because in a way, when you think about it, Isagi played his part. He played his role. Bro, you're not a defender. What are you doing there? And obviously it's because, you know, Blue Lock isn't traditional soccer. But still, you're not a defender, you're a striker. Or at least you claim to be. So what is someone like you diving into somebody else's story? Playing your part. Being the beautiful defender, the beautiful little rival to be overcome and be surpassed in that moment. It's like, Yoichi, why would you dare play that role? If you hadn't, Rin would have been stuck in analysis paralysis. He likely would have restarted the play all over again. Because we literally see last chapter, he just feels like it isn't good enough, it isn't great enough, it isn't right enough. Isagi Yoichi, you completed Rin Itoshi, and that's your mistake. And ultimately, you were right. Someone commented, I don't think it was on the last one, I think it was on the one before that. Someone commented, hey, ultimately, the biggest thing about Rin is that a lot of his greatest plays and his greatest strengths come into you falling into his trap, falling into his bait, or him bringing something out of you and you responding appropriately. That appropriate response is exactly what Rin expected. It all went according to Keikaku, and then he cooks you. Technically, Isagi Yoichi fell into that exact same trap. He played right into Rin's hands, even if Rin didn't know he was playing into, if he had hands to play into. Because by giving in to that notion, giving in to being a piece of somebody else's story, giving in to that is all Rin needs to tear you apart. So ultimately, the way to beat Rin, as that commenter mentioned, is to just not play the game. Sure, there may be an optimal strat. There may be a path you know you should take. But maybe just this once, maybe just that time, you decide to ignore it. Dance away from it, knowing the dangers that come with that. But that's the thing. Let's see. But that's my thought, just based on what I saw last chapter. But I'm an omniscient not omniscient narrator. I'm an omniscient reader, so let's see. Once Santetsu started covering the exhausted Kunigame, Shido tried to break free and become the fourth piece that threw off the balance between me, Kaiser. So what is it? Okay. It's a lot subtler. I'll readily admit that. But I did bring this up. So another person had commented the idea that ultimately they were actually kind of disappointed in the whole idea of the whole rock, paper, scissors matchup kind of not meaning anything. And I had mentioned back to them the idea that, well, technically, Shido was that fourth piece. He was the shoot in the whole rock, paper, scissors shoot discussion. It's just that he didn't end up being as effective, and notably the interactions ended up changing, where it wasn't a consistent four-way deadlock. It wasn't like a universal game. You weren't all playing Smash Brothers. Essentially, you broke down into duos, and the Isagi Rin duo is what took the most precedent there. So I'm glad Nomura, or in this case, KANESHIRO Sensei, is addressing it. Though I do agree, ultimately, it could have been done better. I do wish Shido was a more active part. I wish Kaiser was a more active part. Honestly, it would have been crazy. I wish Rin got to overcome all three of them at once, showing why he is supreme, when ultimately, in the end, he just had to overcome Isagi as he ran away from Shido. And Kaiser wasn't even there. But, well, he also had to run away from Kaiser. I think Kaiser was the one on Rin. But then again, I think Rin's... Hold on, let me double check. Is Rin farther up the field or down the field? Yeah, Kaiser's right there. So still, interesting position. Technically, where was Kaiser? I forget. But let's see. I saw that faster than anyone and reached the point where Charles's pass was most likely to land. But Rin accelerated to take off Shido, and he still shot with me there. That should have stopped him. He knew he'd crash into me, but he wasn't the least bit afraid. On top of that, this feels incredible. That was the same thing I felt back then, when I first came to Blue. Interesting. But you know what, Isagi? I hate to say it, broski, but why would he stop? Like, from your mental perspective, after all he's shown you, why would he stop? You're there, but he has longer legs than you. He's taller than you. He's stronger than you. He's better than... No, I'm kidding. But, like, he has all that over you. So what's the mathematics that you thought that was a good idea? That was the way you should go. That's how you should respond. You should run straight into him. Because ultimately, even if I'm Rin, obviously the whole crash out idea still isn't pleasant. It's not a pleasant idea. But collisions are pretty common from what I know. And he had the stat advantage. So why would he stop? Why wouldn't he just keep moving forward? So Isagi, I think you're a little short-sighted. Maybe that's a little bit of Isagi's overestimation coming in, where ultimately acknowledging himself as an adaptation genius led to a lapse, a glitch in the system, where he overestimated his own abilities, thinking that Rin Itoshi would stop to him, when we've seen Rin Itoshi run through people much bigger, much stronger, and much more dangerous than Isagi. Uh-oh, Mr. Yoichi, I think you got in your own way, in more ways than one. Let's see. When I first came... Oh, but that's an interesting comparison, though. The idea that Rin's euphoria is similar to Isagi's euphoria. Oh, but now they mention it. Yeah, they do have the exact same eyes there. Let's see. Does that mean he's just started to realize his own talent? Was I just a totally random supporting character meant to awaken this prodigy? Kinda, not really, though. That's the thing. Rin's talent has always been there. Heck, we even got to see a bit of it. We got to see his Destroyer ego. I guess in terms of permanently awakening a Destroyer Rin, technically that's the point. And ironically, that's kind of similar to what I mentioned, the idea that Isagi ended up playing the supporting character, the side character, the means to Rin's end, essentially. But still, I would say ultimately that no. I don't think he's just started to realize his own talent. In fact, I think he may have accidentally hard capped himself here. Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't say all that, Isagi. I wouldn't say all that. Once again, I think Rin is actually, shockingly enough, reaching his potential peak a little bit too soon, a little bit too fast, a little bit too speedy because of his own mentality. So I think he does need to break that before he actually awakens to whatever potentially would have. And two, I mean, that's the thing. You kind of were, but you weren't a random. You were very specific. You were his rival. If we were talking about, like, it's weird talking about meta-narrative story importance inside a meta-narrative story, but if we're talking logistically, within the story, you are the rival character, which is typically, at bare minimum, the deuteragonist. So, like, you aren't a random supporting character. You aren't Igarashi. So don't worry, bro. Let's see. Awaken this prodigy. Loki grabbed him up by the collar and said, "Why didn't you score the?" That's crazy though. He's really strong. He's really strong. Just like grab Rin up like that, and I think Rin is actually taller than him. Look at the anger. Look at the fury. Look at the rage. Huh? Loki, what's up? Huh? What is it, Master? Oh, I do like it. You know what? It may just be like a fundamental respect thing, but I do like that Rin does ultimately call him Master. Like, if you remember back in the World Match, he very specifically tried to see the World 5 as none other than equals. Like, that was like the whole point of the third match, the difference between Rin and the rest. That's why him and Shido scored, because they were the only two players in all Blue Lock who didn't just take it as like a training match. He was like, no, I believe I can win, I will win. So to see Rin, many chapters later, and much stronger, actually acknowledge Loki as the Master, it's an interesting type of character development. It's like roundabout character development in a weird way, because you would think not calling Loki Master would be the character development here, but just based on what we know of Rin previously versus Rin now, actually calling him Master, nice, I like it. Let's see. What is it, Master? Rin Itoshi. We played each other once before, right? I believe it was during Blue Lock's third selection. Yep. the World 5 match. Let's see. Oh, okay, so there's a decent bit of, like, disrespect there. Like, you don't just smack away. But I guess like I'm trying to think, because my coach was like, he was rough, but he would never like put his hands on us. That's a case. Especially not on the live TV. That's a case. So I get it. But then again, Loki's also he's also 17. So technically, is it really a case? Like, what could Loki be arrested for like putting his hands on Rin like that? Technically, like, he's only 1 year older than Rin. So maybe there is no case. But ultimately, that grip up, yeah, that's never happened. He would like clap in our faces and stuff like that, but he would never like. Then again, that was the case. But let's see. What about it? Yeah, but that's still like more Rin as smacking away Loki's hand. I've had to revise my opinion of you. Oh no, Rin is taller than Loki. Loki is a short speedster. Since you've become such an entrancing striker, one could say you're even a different person. Oh, really? Oh, okay. So maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Isagi's he's the main character, so I guess he would be right. But maybe Isagi's interpretation is right. Honestly, I don't really see the vision, but I suppose this is a new starting point. One could even say you're a different person. Thank you for causing Charles to awaken. I hadn't planned on taking the field, but it seems too fun. You made me want to play. Oh, okay. But it makes sense. We kind of had to. When else were we going to get the Masters in? When else were we going to get... Like, the game's 2-2. The game's almost done, which it feels weird to say. I've seen some people admit, though, last chapter I kind of talked about how I haven't really felt the match fatigue that I felt from Ubers, because you can even see in the reviews, like, as much as I loved Ubers as a game, as much as I do love it even more in retrospect, I'm like, you could hear it. Like, I was low-key fading. See what I did there, Loki? But I was low-key fading out on the match the longer it went on, even though it was the same length as Manshine. But of course, Manshine was my first ever time reviewing Blue Lock, and I was halfway through the match at that point. So obviously, the fatigue of reviewing it hit different, especially considering it was mostly Borrow-focused. It's Snuffy focused still. But with that being the case, I see people complain about the pacing of this match, at least in my comments. But pace-wise and just storytelling-wise, it wouldn't make sense for the Masters to not sub in now when the game is literally about to end. Honestly, I'm saying 10 chapters at most. And I'm saying at most left. Like, I think this game is going to be over by 270, 286. Maybe even sooner. Because how many play? It really depends on how long we take on the plays, but one team should score relatively soon. I'm assuming, and I had to hazard a guess, it's going to go something like this. Because now BM has the ball, because Rin just scored. So BM's going to charge. Isagi's going to try and use his new adaptation, his understanding of Rin. He's going to fail. And then maybe Kaiser comes in, maybe someone else comes in, maybe someone comes in and starts to cook a little bit. They fail. Then the ball ends up back with PXG. Loki has the ball, goes crazy, gets stopped somehow. I don't know how, but he's going to get stopped somehow. Rin's going to have the ball. He's going to be stopped somehow. Shido's going to have the ball. He's going to be stopped somehow. And then the match resets. Isagi, after witnessing that three-way play where somehow Loki, Shido, and Rin were all stopped or overcome, that's going to be his final point of awakening. He's going to realize the missing piece. The missing piece is going to be Ness. Ness is going to come slide in and be like, oh, you choose me? Hero King of Blue Lock? Please let me suck your toes. And then Ness is going to sub in, go absolutely crazy with Isagi. They score. Isagi's awakening, Hero Blue Lock, #1, all that stuff like that. That's how I see the vision. Let's see. Can you believe it? Julian Loki, the Wonder Child, who has yet to... What? Really? Yet to... He hasn't played a... Well, I guess PXG's been dominating, and he hasn't... But darn... Bro really said, what's the 3 minutes for? I don't need to play a show. That's crazy. Julian Loki, the Wonder Child, who has yet to play throughout the whole Neo Udis League, has declared he's taking the field. All right. I think every other master has played except for Loki. That's wild. Ah, yeah, okay, so yeah, Noah has to come in. You joining is basically cheating, you stupid brat. So we'll swap players too. I'm going in. Noah, Yukimaya? Please, Yukimaya, I swear the arc forgot about it. Please, Yukimaya, come in. Kunigami, you're so cooked, bro. No, bro was reduced to a defender. Who are you, Kunigami? Caught me on the wall, no, my foot. Let's see. You're out. No, not my son. My son! KANESHIRO said, why? He didn't even do anything in this match. Why did you not my baby boy? Kunigami, fine. Big rips to bro. Like, honestly, one of the most embarrassing. I was to think about it, but like, I've been seeing division naturally when it comes to Kunigami and his arc and his placement in the narrative. But like, I mean, that's the thing though. Like, the whole Neo Udis League has been explaining why not everyone has to be a striker. But like, I'll admit, for how hyped the wild card was meant to be, it ended up being so whack. I mean, but the thing is, it works because it fed into Kunigami, who fed into Isagi. And Isagi's the main character. So technically the wild card did serve its overall meta-narrative purpose in making Isagi better, despite Isagi not going to the wild card because he unlocked at least a pseudo-variation of what Kunigami has, and honestly a better version of it with the 50-50, with the whole mix-up he has. But I just feel bad for Kunigami. He definitely feels like a character who should have shined a little bit more this arc, especially considering from this arc forward, there's not going to be time for Kunigami versus Shido. And ultimately, it doesn't look like Shido's getting subbed out. Actually, I don't know who is getting subbed out for Loki. I don't know. We'll see who's getting subbed out for Loki, but if Shido doesn't get subbed out for Loki, which I highly doubt, Shido started, made it all the way through, and probably won't score again, but ultimately, Shido still asserts his giga dominance over Kunigami. Sure, Kunigami had it on lockdown, but he clearly couldn't last. He's already tired. Let's see. And the other one on the verge of toppling over is you, Ranzai Kurona. Hit the bench. What? Roger. I burst him. No. My baby boy. They do this to you. You were getting pretty tired, though. I ain't gonna lie. And once again, I can't blame Kurona because, realistically, he's been running around with metavision users with no metavision. He's just been, like, reacting genuinely and running. He isn't predicting anything, so I don't blame him. And plus, he's short. I don't know. That's bad to say. But so I'm trying to think. Who all the fastest people I can think of, just in general, are usually tall. Because longer legs, longer strides, and stuff like that. I knew fast people who were faster than me and shorter than me. It wasn't impossible. But just the fastest person on our track team was also the tallest person. No, not the tallest. Second tallest, but he was really, really tall. He was taller than me. And he was faster than me by a good margin. So I can understand having short legs. You have to take a lot more strides to cover the same distance as someone with longer legs. It's natural. It's why, like, I always mean about being short, and I am. I'm only half an inch tall. But when I walk with people, I have long legs. and I have a fast pace, which is usually the opposite. Usually you either have short legs and a fast pace or long legs and a slow pace. I have long legs and a quick pace. So I leave people behind and I always have to adjust my walking speed. And that's just because I have long legs. If I were sprinting everywhere, I can't imagine. Let's go. And the ones going in are me. Oh no. It happened. Let's tell you, no. I knew it was gonna happen. We all knew it was gonna happen. There's a reason we ended off that chapter that way. It was foreshadowed. It was built up. It makes sense. I just want to see how Noah justifies it. Let me see some of his stats. Let me see something. Because you're taking out my son. You're taking out my son, my poor baby boy. And Kunigami for this thing. Not even is Yuki Maya seriously not gonna touch the pitch this entire game? Please sub out like Mensa. Please, genuinely sub out Mensa. Sub out somebody else, please. Ingurumi Igarashi, you're up. Huh? Even he's confused, and I don't blame him. Huh? Igaguri now? For real? What's he thinking? Even he's like, dude, what are you going? If this is like, hold on, let me read his text bubbles. Time to stand up, Super Sub. It's your last chance to change your destiny. Yeah. I'm ready to go. Hop off, Tippy. But I swear, but you know what? If I had to guess, because I don't think he's gonna justify it. If I had to force a justification, one, it's for why every other person on the universe is saying Igarashi Digidestined to sub in. He's been practicing fouling. And who are the two biggest people, the two biggest stars in the field right now? Obviously, the Masters cancel each other out. Best striker in the world versus fastest striker in the world. But Rin and his Shido, Igara's been practicing fouling. What's and another big weakness that people point out about Rin? He's not afraid to get physical. One wrong move, that's a foul. He gets fouled too many times, he's out. Igara's been practicing fouls. That's been an entire thing. Right now, he could be the one to shut down Rin. He could be that extra piece that Isagi needs to overcome Rin. So the writing makes sense. I just don't like Igarashi. I don't like him. Let's see. Hail to the standing Broder. I'm ready. Let's go. With a score of 2-2, the final match reaches its climax. The point from this last goal will determine the entire game. Yo, I'll admit though. Noah, it's fun. He's almost always crouching, which is crazy. I think Snuffy's actually taller than him. But like, he's always crouching to fit in the frame of the manga panels, bro. But why do you have to ruin the vibe? But look at everyone else standing, enjoying themselves, recollecting, releasing 10 top tier aura. Here you are, ruining the vibe, bro. Just absolutely slaughtering it. And Loki standing on business. Something about his head shape is funny. I don't know, something about Loki's head shape. Sometimes it's drawn normally, like his head looks a little extra long here. With both teams masters in the game hitting its peak, who will score the last point to become the Neo Heroes League champion? See, like, look at the difference in aura, bro. Igarashi, you killed it. There would have been a competition if you were just standing there menacingly. But you got Shido, tongue out, specifically going to target Igarashi. Shido, break his spleen. Not his spleen. Break his femur, Shido. But Charles posted up, hands behind the head, Rin back turn, Zantetsu flex. Why do they have so much more styles? Let's see. Hey, Isagi, I'm glad that I chose you as a rival. Oh yeah, see? So you're not a random supporting character. You're the deuteragonist. Let's see. Huh? Yeah. Hate me. It just makes me strong. Okay, hop off tip, bro. Hop off your own tip. You know, I'm all for self-confidence. Don't get me wrong. Well, look at me. You think it's something I say and do on the internet. Clearly, I gotta be about something. And of course, that something would be self-confidence. But I've always been about self-confidence, not self-arrogance. And notably, there have been times in my life where I felt mad arrogant, mad big doggish, mad top of the line, that guy, all supply. Like, I've felt like him before. But I always try to balance it. I always try to make sure I stay humble and understand that I'm, no matter what, the richest and most powerful person on the planet. is still a person. They're still human, no matter what. They can be faster than you. They can be stronger than you. They can do anything. But they can fall down the stairs the wrong way and die. Humans are always human. Until something crazy happens, or aliens of similar size and shape form, we are the same sentient life form. We are 99.97% the same. So ultimately, I try to not let arrogance consume me because I always got to understand and respect that fact. But, Rin, it looks like you're polishing your own tip, bro. You may want to hop off. So let's see. It just makes me stronger. You have a duty to try and kill me until you die. I can respect that, though. I was about to say, what kind of corny... But no, it does make sense, right? And you know, I do think ultimately that is a healthy dynamic to have with somebody. Now you may be like, whoa, Pencilman, what are you talking about? But I think the most growth I've ever done was when I had a rival. It's natural. I don't know. So something about it. I don't want to just say it's fine with human nature, because I know some people hate having people who are close to them in ability. But at least for me, whether it be in video games, whether when I was back in track and field, when I was back academically, when I was still in school, it was always, do I have a person who's comparable to me in some aspect? Oh, I do? All right. They're going to bring the best out of me and I'll bring the best out of them. Was it intentional half the time? No, not really. But still, the fact that it existed, yeah. Try and beat me until you no longer can try anymore. And honestly, some of the most tantalizing and amazing moments, some things that may get their own story video sometime, if I ever feel like doing story times on the channel, there are moments where I overcame my rivals and they just gave up. They never, or not even gave up, they kept trying, but they just never caught up to me. And there's something deviously satisfying about that. And with that being the case, I do think this is a good thing to have. Because at least for me, it's true. It always made me stronger. It always made me better. Now, obviously, I don't believe in hatred. I don't think you should hate your rivals. I think you should appreciate them. Because without them, you wouldn't be half of what you are. But still, the idea of having someone who will push themselves to their limit, to push you to your limit in order to both go beyond both your limits, yeah. I think it's a blessing to have somebody like that in your life. Because ultimately, they're really hard to come by. Let's see. To try and kill me until you die. Shut up, you arrogant fool. I swear, on this last goal, I'll devour you back. Oh, look who's here. Look who's here. I wonder who's going to be the piece for the last goal. But yeah, like I said, I sense Igarashi being used to shut down either Loki, like a lot of people predicted, or Rin, who's being facilitated by Loki, and Shido. I expect him, probably with an accidental assist from Kaisu, to shut that trio down. Hiyori likely facilitating Isagi's weaknesses and helping him understand things better, and Ness ultimately being the final piece. But that's the end of the chapter. Very interesting. I'm shocked we didn't get any commentary from Rin. Or no, not commentary from Rin. Any commentary from Kaiser. And really, Hiyori either. They kind of just stood around this chapter, but with how much that happened in this chapter, I don't blame him. We had the reaction to Rin's goals. We had the internal turmoil of Isagi. We had we had the introduction of the Masters to the game, the passion of Loki, the real Loki hasn't played the entire new Aegis League, and we have the introduction of Igarashi. We had the introduction of Igarashi at the removal of my son in Kunigami. So overall, a lot happened this chapter, so I can't really blame him. I wouldn't be shocked, honestly, if we don't even restart the game next chapter. I know that sounds crazy to say, especially considering how high tension everything is right now, but we still may have some more breakdown to do. But if we hop back into the match immediately, I would not complain. But overall, yes, the chapter's still worthy. Ultimately, the Igarashi stuff is what not only well set up and well established and basically digidestined to happen. I kind of figured it would. Ultimately, it just seems like a natural byproduct of the narrative. And it's sandwiched in between so much other interesting and good stuff in character work that I can't sit here and say it's not peak. Alright? There we go. Igarashi got in, and the chapter's still worthy. So I hope you're happy, Igarashi fans. All negative 13 of you. Because I know you're basically Organization 13, all wearing your Igarashi-styled coats to try and create Kingdom Hearts. I know what you are. But speaking of Kingdom Hearts, if you made it all the way to the end of this video, please leave Riku! It's gonna be so... I mean, people. I wonder how many people are able to tell the passwords just by looking at the comments, but leave Riku, R-I-K-U, in the comment section down below. And thank you so much for watching. Be sure to leave a like, share, comment, and subscribe. And make sure you hit that little notification bell so you don't miss out on any videos that come to the channel. Also, I do have a Patreon down below where you support me for as long as $1 a month. And things like exclusive videos, early content, and more. So now become a member of the channel for as long as $3 a month to get the same perks and more. So those perks include the live reactions every the series I review, and if you very interested in all my videos, and if you become a $25 patron or a $25 member, you can order whatever video you want. Also, I do have a link to my Ko-Fi in the description down below. You can drop 5 beans for a short video, 25 beans for a long video, or any beans at all. Any support is always greatly appreciated. Now, thank you so much for watching once again, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. This is That Guy with the Pencil, writing off. I'd like to give a thank you to our $3 members: Zara, Greyhound, Eternal Flame, NMA, Real Rare, Red Wolf 4765, Paris Arnold, Astro, Brandon Payne, and G Prosper. And I'd like to give a thank you to our $5 patrons: Sean, Midnight Lord 21, Kevin, Encarnacion, Josh Brown, Igneal Lind, and A+A. And I'd like to give a big ol' thank you to our $7 members: Autumn Mornings Lazo, Fine, Zombie Hunter, and Austin Wimberly. Then I'd like to give a thank you to our $10 members: Robbie Uchiha, Jay Warrior, and AZ Void. Then I'd like to give a big ol' thank you to our $10 patrons: Overlord Zero, Joaquin Munoz, and Idem Okami.
And I'd like to give the craziest, juiciest, most next-level, quadruple, sloppy, toppy, next-level, superhuman, in beyond this world, kidney heaven thank you to our $100 patron, or That Guy with a Pencil tier patron, Calvin Elder.